Road Less Travel with your hosts, Bryan Carman and Paul Ahnert.
Hey, happy Sunday. Welcome to an hour early edition of the Road Less Traveled. We're going to be breaking down Immortal Fest. Welcome, Bryan. How you doing tonight?
Tired, but ready for the show.
All right, here we go. So welcome to Road Less Traveled. And tonight we're going to break down Immortal Fest 2025, part 2 primarily, and talk about our favorite parts and kind of talk about why something like this is important. What purpose is this? Just a big pat ourselves on the back and get together and have fun thing, or does this have spiritual meaning and purpose? And we're going to talk about that as well. So hold on tight. We're gonna, if you were there, I'd love for you to join in the comment section and share your favorite parts and make this as interactive as possible. So before we get started, Bryan, you got any music for this week?
Well, I have been listening to We Are Resolute, of course, and I finally did unpack all my CDs, so that's
Okay.
good. But I've been listening. I don't have the Strikin' CD yet because it's coming in the mail.
Mm-hmm.
And a big shout out to Bill Bafford at Rocks because he gave me a couple free CDs with it.
Nice.
I got Christovox, The Bottom Line, and Fear Not's debut album.
Both awesome albums. I love them both.
So I listened to a little bit of the other day because it really, 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 to me, sounds like Fire and Love from Guardian. It really does. I mean,
it's the same. Yeah, that same style of that. I guess we call it hair metal at that point. Yeah,
the backing vocals are almost identical. Not saying that they're trying to rip each other off. It's just I love it.
No, that was just the style of the day, and really, and I think Fire and Love is probably my favorite Guardian album, and it's different than anything else they put out.
That one and what's the one with the fancy old fashioned stuff with Sister Wisdom on it? Oh, come on, I'm drawing a blank.
Buzz?
Nope. It's the one that they sold the most of.
Not Bottle Rocket.
Nope. It's also got man, I'm really drawing a blank. It's my favorite album from them.
Risking putting my back to the camera, Guardian's like right here in my collection. I could take
Go
a
ahead.
quick peek.
Look at it real quick. I don't think it's gonna hurt anything.
Let's see.
Something about a cat. Told you I'm tired. I probably got 4 hours scattered sleep last night.
There's Buzz. There's Grimmark. Let's see what I got here. I got Swing, Swang, Swung. Is that the one you're talking about? Or Miracle Mile? I think.
Miracle Mile, thank you.
There you go.
Yep.
Yeah.
I've got that one autographed by the whole band.
Excuse my back, everybody.
Oh,
very unprofessional, but then
embarrassing.
That's who we are.
So I've been listening to Strikin', the what's it called?
Is it Stricken or Striken? I thought it was Stricken.
I've always heard people say Strikin'.
Oh, okay. I don't know. For some reason, I thought I heard Bob Beeman introduce him as Stricken.
Because Stricken would be with an I.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? We're going to on the 14th, and we'll ask him that question.
Yeah, we're going to have him on next Sunday. So before we go live with them, we will know how to pronounce that.
Yeah. Make sure we ask the question because we're ignorant, which doesn't mean stupid. It just means we don't know.
And I've pronounced people's names wrong before, and I'm hate myself for it. So, that's how it goes.
Ahnert. Just kidding.
Yeah, everybody gets my name wrong. Too.
So I'm going to say Strikin' because that's what I've heard. And then Fear Not. And who else? Oh, yeah, We Are Resolute.
All right.
Because it's the CD that I have in my car. So anyway.
I've been listening to my collection in alphabetical order, which I try to do every so often just to see if I still, stuff I never listened to. This way, I'm like, oh, I forgot about that album. Instead of listening to the same 10 things all the time. And so this week I was listening to Warlord. They're kind of doom meets thrash. they're doomy music with thrashy vocals, good evangelical message in the lyrics, but a little different than most of what's in my collection. But I really like them quite a bit. And then this one here is Warrior. This is the only Warrior album that features Rob Rock. He did vocals, and I'm pretty sure that he wrote lyrics for this, and top notch production, and of course, Rob Rock singing on it, so you can't go wrong there.
He's a great vocalist.
In the W's this week, I've been listening to We Are Resolute.
All right, you're in the W's.
And I'm listening to it, and I'm thinking, man, this is so good.
All right, you got a favorite song or two off of that?
On this one here, Fallen Angel for sure.
Mine's Don't Walk Away.
Don't Walk Away.
Yeah, because no matter what troubles I'm going through, I can't walk away because the seed fell on good ground here.
Right. Yeah. And it's just a great album.
Thank you.
Dale's vocals on it, and your guitar work, and John's drums, and whoever was on bass on this one, I don't know.
That would be Troy Thompson from Bryan.
That was Troy Thompson. Yeah, just fantastic.
Isn't Die With My Armor on that album?
I think so. I think I saw that on there.
Because Troy,
yes.
I only do the rhythm guitar on that song. Troy put layers of awesome face melting guitar work on that. So when you listen to the guitar work and the bass, that's Troy.
All right, cool.
Yeah, that's unbelievable.
So I've been listening to that this week at work, and it's been good. Immortal Fest. This is kind of like it's kind of like the big, for our part of the country, get together, the big gathering of like-minded people with musical taste and faith. Before we jump in, Pat jumped on. Pat Carnes is with us, and he could have bailed me out here. He came up with Miracle Mile, so
I just had to click the comments on too, so I was like, oops.
Been listening to Chaotic Resemblance this week. Yeah, good stuff. Got to see them live a couple of times. And
sorry, Pat, we dropped the ball on that one.
Yeah, but hey, thank you. Thanks for bailing us out. And again,
we had to look at Paul's back.
Who we are. So, for me, Immortal Fest is it's like the gathering. It's like the family reunion. And, I hate that I missed last year, and I hate that I was only able to do one night this year. The finances kind of got in the way, and I'm going to try to plan better for next year and, save up to have a more greater presence there. But it's like a family reunion, man. And Bob gets up there and he says, "We are metal, we are family," Pastor Bob. And you can't, there's not a better motto. That's Sanctuary's motto, but you couldn't find a better motto for what takes place at Immortal Fest. You can almost call it Love Fest or Jesus Love Fest. It's just that incredible. What's your take? You got to watch all 3 nights.
Well, hopefully to jump off what you said, I can go next year. So if we go, we know the Wi-Fi there. I found out from Richard Lynch of Saint messaged me and said, "Dude, that place is notorious for not being able to get a connection." So it wasn't you or me or our program. So thank you, Richard, for that. Yes. And but hopefully, what we could do is record everything and then put a video together. So
what we could do is we could go outside and broadcast live from outside for a little bit.
If we know, yeah, we could, and if we could get a couple people to be interviewed out there, but we really could. I do all the editing. If I can capture all the videos and you can send me some, I'd do that. That'd be pretty cool.
Excellent. All right, fantastic. Pat wants to know, are the dates set for next year? I have not seen anything yet. There's been rumors swirling for the last couple of years that it might end up in Nashville at some point. I know that attendance was really, unfortunately, down this year. And, that's going to affect the future, I would imagine. But haven't heard anything official yet. still
I
waiting to hear.
wonder if the streaming money is helping them, because that would really be good, because I couldn't go. There was no way on God's green earth I could go, but I bought all 3 nights and it was great.
Yeah, we were my wife and I went this year, and it was really great. It was her first festival. She got to meet Les and Joyce in person, and we ran into Brian Dale Ransberger, awesome guy. Got to hang out with him for a little bit, and it's just the atmosphere. It was everything I told her it would be, and she was like, "Yeah, I love it." And we kicked around staying an extra night, and they were going to let me upgrade my ticket to a 2-day ticket from the 1-day ticket. But I just calculated my food and my lodging and all that, and I'm thinking this is going to be close to $400 extra for me between the two of us, and
Right.
it just was too restrictive for me, not having planned ahead for that. But
Sacred Warrior kicks some butt. We'll cover that.
yeah, when we get to night 3.
Yep.
So Brian, you got to see first night streaming. What were your highlights? What did you love about it?
Okay, now before anybody takes any of my comments out of context, I am not going to bash any band that was there. Music is subjective, and there's certain bands that I like that you won't like, some that you will like that I won't like. But it doesn't mean I'm cutting them down, because they're doing a ministry for the Lord. So we're supporting them by talking about them, putting people on our show. And so I'm just prefacing that. So just in case I say something that's just my opinion of my taste, and I'm in a box. So it's only been stretched out a little bit. I'm a rocker, and I'm a classic rock and 80s metal kind of hairband kind of guy. Listen to our music, you can see it. But I've opened up to other bands in the past, like Skillet and POD, and I really like Thousand Foot Crutch and all that kind of stuff. So just prefacing that so nobody takes it out of context, like happened on the internet this week about someone making a comment. But anyway, we don't want controversy, but we do want to take the road less traveled.
Yes. And adding to that, before you jump in, I just want to say this, that nothing we say has anything to do with the talent and musicianship of who was there, because all of it, everybody from Weapons of God all the way through Sacred Warrior, all of it, the quality of musicianship, the talent that was on that stage, the heart for the Lord that was there, undeniable and unassailable. So that's our caveat for tonight. Go ahead, man.
Yeah, because I'm in a band, and and We Are Resolute's becoming more known. So that's why I want to go to Immortal Fest, because it's going to be people like, oh, they're going to get your pride. Not even close. You know how fun it's going to be to meet the fans that support us and get pictures taken with the fans? It's kind of like I'm still a fan. I still can't believe what we're doing with We Are Resolute, and we're becoming known as WAR. But that's fine, because it's an acronym anyway. So anyway, Immortal Fest would be cool to do, and some of our fans were even saying they're hoping that we could ever play there one day. So we'll see what God does. That would take some real... But anyway, so the first band that came up was Weapons of God, and we had them on our show, and a group of really good people, love the Lord. The show rocked. And then, I can't remember how to say this. It's Ignescent. Is that how you say that?
Ignescent, yeah.
They rocked the place out, but that's not my style, but they did a great job. So I was, think I was doing dishes, and I had it turned up so I could at least hear it, but I wasn't totally focused in it because it's just not my thing. But they were good, and they were very professional, and I liked how, wasn't it Les Carlson that came up and sang with them?
Was it? I didn't see it. I didn't get to watch. Okay. But
that's right. But during the whole thing, the whole weekend, they had different people from other bands come up and do stuff with them. So I thought that was very cool.
That was very cool.
That's fun. I know that Dale Thompson was having a blast having Rex Carroll play a song with them.
Yes.
I mean, come on. They're just getting together and having a great time. So then here's the shocker of Friday. I thought, you know what? I think isn't it like $20 per night for the streaming?
was it 26 to stream it?
Something like that. But it was only $50 for all 3 nights. And I go, you know what? I've heard of Striking. Let's do it just to see what's up with them. So I was assuming, because I don't know how old the people are. I don't know anything about the band until that night. And I mean, I've heard one song or two, and I'm like, eh. But they came on, and I'm like, no, Pastor Bob was introducing him. Like, Tracy Ferry walked behind. I go, that little turd. Because he couldn't tell me, and I've been communicating with him, and I had to guess, and I thought he was going to do Boston or something. And right after the show, he messaged me and said, hey, I'm sorry I couldn't tell you. I'm like, no big deal, dude. I'm glad I found out the way I did, because I was like, hey. And then I go, hey, Rex Carroll and Michael Fian. Oh, this is awesome. So for me, I was like I said, a kid in a candy store. And that was a huge surprise for me. And so after listening to them live, I went and listened to some of the stuff off of the what's it called when not the remix, the remastered one, Once Lost, Now Found or something. I think the album's called.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole album is just really good. And I'm telling you, for the lead singer to be older and still hitting some of those high notes, that is really amazing. And people got to realize, when you go from studio to live, even the younger people, they're not going to be perfect on stage. And if they are, Ray Para, then it's really cool that can happen. But we're talking people that are in their late 50s or 60s, and their vocal cords are not 18 anymore, And so I was pretty impressed that he could hit the high notes the way he did. And then in my mind's eye, I'm listening to the CD that's remastered, and then I go back and watch the live, and I'm like, hey, they didn't do that bad. Because I talked to Dale not Dale Thompson, but Dale, the singer of Striking, on the phone in between his airplane flight, and we're about 6 minutes. And he told me that some people were saying they sucked more now than they did when they sucked back in the day. And he's like, I said, don't pay attention to those people, man.
That's horrible, man.
Yeah, the keyboard warriors, man. So that right there was that was the big deal for me for the whole night. Weapons of God was cool. Like I said, Ignescent did a good job, but it's just not my thing. And that shouldn't be taken negative, but maybe somebody will. But then Images of Eden, I'd never heard of them before. And I thought they started off a little rocky, but then they kicked it in, and I thought it was actually ended up being a good show. And the lead singer, I became friends with him on Facebook. He's really cool. And I loved the testimony in between songs. So whether or not I'm a fan of them yet, I don't know. I'm going to give them more of a chance. Music is so subjective, and the main thing I want people to understand is every band here loves the Lord, and they're doing this for the kingdom. So that's the most important thing. Everything else is just an opinion, So then the protest was definitely not in my bag of tricks, but they did good for what they did. So that's my take on the first night.
Yeah, and it's funny because out of all those bands for the first night, Weapons of God, who I'm friends with, and they're friends of the show, them I've heard of. Those I would like to have been able to see live. But everybody else on that night, I actually had never heard of.
Okay.
And it's more. My CD collection, I got like 1,000 CDs. I'm always and all the time I'm finding bands I never heard of, and I'm thinking, how did I never hear these guys? How did I never hear these guys?
Yep.
And so again, here's another one of those nights where here's 4 bands that I have to ask myself, how did I never hear these guys before?
There's
well,
5.
Weapons of God, I know.
Oh, okay, got ya.
Yeah. So 4 of them, I'm like, how did I never know these guys? And so Pat says, I was at work, but it was nice that Pastor Bob was posting regular videos. I was there in spirit. Yeah, he was, and I got to see quite a bit of those clips, and the clips that you were posting, Brian. It was really helpful. I posted a little bit of clips, but I didn't. I think the only full performance I posted, I did a Facebook Live, which oddly enough, I could Facebook Live a performance But as soon as I tried to do something out in the lobby with you and me, it just fell apart. I don't know if maybe it needed the extra bandwidth, and it was
You
just
found a
too much.
pocket of Wi-Fi.
Maybe it was just too much adding you in, or then you trying to add me in.
Right.
So that could have been it. But when Les Carlson did the Messiah,
Oh yeah.
he preached a little bit before he went into the song, and I still get goosebumps when and I've been able to see that live. I think that's the third time I've gotten to see that performed live, and of course heard it dozens and dozens of times.
You know, the
But,
dynamic between Les and Joyce is so cool because
phenomenal.
Les could preach all day, but she was keeping him in line. Did you notice that? But she did it nicely. She did it nicely.
She did, but I love their dynamic. I love them. Got to hang out with them just for a couple minutes. My wife and I, just I can't say enough about them as people.
Yep.
Forget about the music. You can't even touch them when it comes to talent. Just unbelievably off the charts. But just
And
as
for how
people,
long they've done it.
yeah. But just as people, that and they definitely want to come back on the show, and so we're going to book them in November. Their Les's album dropped. Thanks to everybody who participated in the Kickstarter for Les's album.
So they made it?
They made their goal.
Awesome.
There's still it's still open because there's always extra costs and things. But they did make their goal. Proud to say I was part of that Kickstarter program because to me, it's not just music, it's ministry.
Yep.
For them to go out and to go to these places that they perform and present the message and the love of Christ, that's, we all have our own calling and our own gifts.
Exactly.
And that's theirs. And so, support that. I love that.
But, I love watching Paul Jackson play guitar.
Yes. Yeah. And I'm sorry I didn't get a chance to meet him in person. I did get to meet Paul Rohrbach, who we had on the show.
Yep.
I got to talk to him for a few minutes.
Cool.
Great guy. Just as nice in person as he seemed to be on our show.
That was funny when they came out.
Yeah, with the hand sanitizer. Yeah.
The bass player from Triton.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So great guy. I got to see Larry Dean for a minute, just a quick minute.
Okay. He was on our show.
Yeah, he was on the show. Again, just as nice and energetic in person as he was when he was on our show. So, when we bring these. What's that?
Did you get to meet Dale and Troy?
I did not. I got caught hanging out with this. We ended up going over to this table that was doing like they have an abortion table.
Okay.
And we got talking to the gentleman from that, and he was from California, and he was we were talking about possibly doing some ministry work with them as a couple, my wife and I.
Okay.
And I think by the time we got to talking with him, place was pretty much cleared out, and I missed getting to meet Dale and Troy, but there'll be other opportunities for sure. But second night, this is one of the things I wanted to ask you. On the first night, was there any technical difficulties that plagued any of the performances that you noticed?
Not that I could remember. None that stood out.
Okay, because
it got bad like the end of the Saturday, and it was bad on Sunday.
Was it bad on Sunday too?
Yeah.
Okay. Because Glenn Kaiser came out first, and I love Glenn Kaiser. I love his blues stuff, especially. Definitely love the red stuff, but particularly I love his blues stuff.
Okay.
And so, what did you think of Glenn?
I was actually watching the Michigan Wolverines game.
True confessions.
Yep.
I was really looking forward to seeing him. He preached in 2023. He came out and did a message for us.
Okay.
And then he did just a solo set where he came out and played some diddly bows that he'd made himself and things like that. And it was real fun. But this was a more the Glenn Kaiser band.
Okay, yep.
And it was really, really good. He dug deep. He did some red stuff. and didn't seem to be any technical difficulties with Glenn. But then when Les and Joyce came out next, there were some feedback problems, and they couldn't hear each other in monitors. Yeah, and so that was. But again, just quintessential performers. They trooped on, and they did a fan. You couldn't tell that they were having any issues, except that they said it. In other words, but you could hear the feedback coming through.
Yeah, that.
Yeah, there was some. I don't know if it was coming out of the bass feed or what it was, but it was pretty pronounced at some points. But what was did you watch Les and Joyce? Did you get to see them?
Oh yeah, that's like watching Bloodgood but without Michael.
Yeah, because everybody, all the surviving members of Bloodgood,
except for the drummer. So they had.
The drummer passed away.
Right, but they've had multiple drummers because even
Michael Fian
played for them.
Yeah, Michael Fian played for them whenever we saw him.
Well, yeah, at the show I went to, Michael did Bloodgood and White Cross, and he was
we were both at that show.
His butt off, dude. He came out after to meet with me and my daughter.
Yeah,
and I'm like, dude, you are sweating. Like, hopefully you're drinking water. He goes, Bryan, you would be amazed at how much water I drank behind the backstage.
I couldn't believe that not only did he play drums for 2 full sets for 2 different bands, he did Moby Dick. And it was like, you got to be kidding me.
Is that another band or something?
No, that was the John Bonham's drum solo from Led Zeppelin.
Oh, okay, got ya.
Yeah, and he played Moby Dick, and then he preached a little bit, shared some stuff.
Oh, by the way, at the commercials of the Michigan game, I did come in, poke my head into this room, and Glenn Kaiser band sounded like they were jamming pretty good. So
they were, yeah.
Record.
Good stuff, absolutely. Yep. So next up was Daniel Band, and I never really heard of Daniel Band until 2023 when I got to see him play live, and I was like, again, how did I never know about these guys?
I heard of them, but never listened.
I've heard the name, but never really. Their music never hit my radar.
Right.
And then was blown away by them, and then again blown away again. And I didn't know that the singer from Daniel Band was the singer from Dreamer. I found that out at Immortal Fest. And,
I've never heard of that band.
They had one album.
Okay.
And it was kind of metally, with more metal. And I love it. I have it in my collection. It's one of my favorite to listen to. And I was like, oh, he did that. That was a nice surprise. So that was pretty cool. I bought a CD of theirs while I was there. So I've got 2 now. And so what were your thoughts on the message that was shared by Daniel Band when the one dude started talking about once saved, always saved?
That prompted me to get attacked by a couple Facebook people because I definitely believe that the Bible talks about security of the true believer and that the parable of the sower explains true and false converts. So for me, it's a done deal. And I don't like it when people say, oh, you're a Calvinist. I don't put a label on it. I'm reading the Bible, and what is the Bible saying? I don't care what Spurgeon says or what Calvin says or what this guy says. I read and study the Bible. And from what I'm seeing, if a true believer loves the Lord and he is sealed by the Holy Spirit, sins are as far as the east is from the west. God the Father says he'll remember our sins no more. I mean, there's tons of Bible verses that you have to ignore to think that we can sin our salvation away. So I did a 5-part, 10-minute five videos study session on this, and it's getting good reviews.
Good. Yeah, that's good.
So I'm not mad at the guy. I just, the term once saved, always saved is so irritating because it's belittling God's word, because they're mocking it basically. And when it comes down to it, in my mind, and I've been a born again believer since 1985, reading and studying, I'm not going to say I'm the greatest theologian or anything like that, but I understand that I'm nothing and God is everything. And that's the theme of the Bible. And if you're going to have to choose between, if I'm going to have to choose between me securing and sustaining my salvation or God doing it, I'm going to default over here because all my works are as filthy rags. That's the other verse. I mean, so I'm not mad at the dude. I just made a post on Facebook, and then the other side of the argument. You know, the one thing that made me a little upset is what the verse that says nothing shall separate, and then it goes through and lists everything.
Mm-hmm.
And it said every created thing. Well, you're not on the list, and I'm not. Are you created? So not even ourselves. And it even says that us. So we are on the list. Man, you know, God's grace is so awesome that he took our place on the cross when we deserved it. And I don't know how anybody can think that Jesus would die on the cross and say, it is finished. Now it's up to you. It wouldn't be finished then. So
Exactly.
So that one got me all fired up.
Yeah, I got us off on a Bible study. How do you like that? We went to a hockey game and a fight broke out. So yeah, my go-to verse in that is in 1 John, where it says, those that went out from us were not of us, because if they were of us, they would not have went out from us. So that's my verse on that. But one thing I did really agree with that he said, and I think this is where the disagreement comes in, or the misconception comes in, is if I'm a once saved, always saved person, I'm not, he said, I've heard pastors tell people you can go rob a bank tomorrow, you go kill somebody tomorrow, and you're still going to go to heaven. And it's like, if you want to go rob a bank tomorrow and you want to go kill somebody tomorrow, you're probably not one of us.
From the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. Doesn't just mean that is not supposed to be only taken verbally. It's talking about what comes from outside or inside of us out, demonstrates what's in there.
And Paul talks about, testing your salvation. Paul talks about being sure of your salvation.
Working out, not working for.
Yeah, working out your salvation. So how do you do that? You look at what are you motivated by?
Are you reading? Are you praying? Are you doing good fruits?
But what's your motivation?
Yep.
How do you identify? What are you identifying yourself with? That's your indicator. If you identify as something the Bible calls sin, I mean, we all sin. Right. And we all fall into temptation. But we shouldn't be identified by those things.
Exactly.
I shouldn't be identified. He's the drunk guy.
Yep.
Now, and I don't do this, and I haven't had a drink in decades. But if I got drunk tomorrow night, I'm not a drunkard. I fell.
Yep.
I slipped. If I am identified as a drunkard and I identify myself as a drunkard, probably I'm not a born again believer.
Because a real drunk is going to drink every day. And so that's why he's going to be known as a drunk, because people see, hear, and smell.
Yeah, and that's the point. If you're convicted of it, even if you fall into an old habit, let's say you had an addiction, you fell back into the addiction, you're struggling with the addiction, you hate the addiction. The fact that you hate it, the fact that you're convicted about it, says way more about you and your spiritual life than your behavior.
Exactly.
But if you are okay with it and you're like, it's just who I am, Jesus forgives me, I would have a problem with that.
Big time. Because when I got saved in 1985, that was the last time that I did any drugs, smoked pot, or got drunk, except for a few days at a basketball tournament in 1996. So did I, according to that other side of the argument, I lost my salvation that night?
Well, as long as you got to repent again, man, you're all right.
But see, here's the other thing. God has not given us a spirit of fear. Wouldn't there be a large amount of fear if we think that, because we sin sometimes without knowing it.
Yeah. But here's the thing that he said that I did agree with, is that we should never tell somebody, sin all you want, God will make more grace for you.
That's not even biblical if you tell
That's not
somebody
biblical.
that. Nope.
And I think that's what he was touching on. And the other thing was, and I ran into this a lot when I was involved with youth ministry, especially. How much sin can I sin before,
Oh,
I
that
cross the
line.
line?
Yep.
And his point was, why would you even want to know where the line is?
Well, where's that Bible verse about if we sin, grace abounds?
Yeah.
Well, then I'll just sin some more so I'll have more grace.
And then Paul says, absolutely not.
Exactly.
But, and his point was, why do you want to know where the line is? Why wouldn't you just want to know where Jesus is and be there? And that's the ultimate goal. So I was on board with him with part of his message. Obviously, I disagreed with the overall premise of it.
Right.
I liked the way he delivered it. He delivered it in a gentle way. I felt
he
like
did it in love and everything.
It's
just on that one topic, I believe that he's incorrect.
Yeah, and that's fine because we're going to disagree with people on things. And no, I'm not going to go to hell because I believe in if I'm wrong, and he's not going to go to hell if he's wrong in what he believes. Because the bottom line is that we know that salvation is through Jesus Christ and Jesus Christ alone.
Yep, and that his work on the cross is sufficient.
Yes.
So anyway,
that's the truth. All right, so that was Daniel Band. Nice little rabbit trail we took on that one.
Yep. But you know what? That's okay. Holy Spirit wanted that to come out.
Yes. So apologetics. So where you said that there were certain bands that just don't ring your bell, apologetics doesn't ring it for me. I know that they're redeeming lyrics.
Yep.
They're very talented. Man, they had a lot of fun on stage from what I saw of them. Definitely an evangelical message. Definitely an audience for them.
Right.
For me, I can't not hear the original lyrics. So when they're singing redeemed lyrics to secular songs, and I listen to secular music, some, I'm not one of these guys that are like, oh, I never listen to any secular music. I do listen to some secular music. I'm careful of what I listen to.
Right.
But when I hear the apologetics music, I can't not hear the original lyrics.
Because it brings back a lot of memories of before you knew the Lord and stuff?
No, it's not detrimental to me.
Okay.
But it's just all I hear.
Right.
So I'm not getting the message. I'm not getting the intent of what they're.
And like we said, what they do, if it's not for you or me, which I don't buy any of their stuff, but every once in a while I'll go to YouTube just for fun and listen to Fly Away from Hell. Because it's better lyrics.
Right.
I love the sound of AC/DC, but their lyrics are pathetic.
Yeah, I can't listen to AC/DC. They're on my no-go list.
Yep.
100%.
So that's why we chose to try to do a live during apologetics, because they're doing their thing, but it's not just like our major cup of tea or anything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so, kudos to them. Uber talented, redeeming lyrics. I get it. Just not my thing, but it's there's an audience for them. There's a purpose for them. So, So that was apologetics.
Hey, go back to the comments. Pat's dominating it because we went early, so a lot of people who don't know we're on. Yeah, do that one.
So, isn't it wonderful thing when you've never heard of a band and they blow your mind? Had that happen with Sacred Warrior, who warmed up for Queensryche a few years ago at the BMI Event Center. I called it God Wink from the Creator. Yeah. Yeah, I remember when they opened up for Queensryche, and I was like, man, that's cool. They got to do that.
The whole band is talented, but I just am always like, especially live, Ray's vocals. Wow. Yeah.
And I got to see Ray there, and I got to introduce him to my wife, so that was cool too.
That's cool.
Really wished I could have been there to
Side note on that, on our next album, which we're working on, there's a song called Liar that I wrote, and Ray is going to sing that for us.
That's incredible.
That's going to be cool.
That'll be fantastic. So,
and he's excited about it.
Yeah, that's even better.
Yep.
So, it was great seeing Ray live. In person, and get the chance to talk to him again. And then Pat says, seems like Sun is being treated as a sport.
Did he mean SON?
Yeah, I'm not sure what you meant, Pat. Clarify, and we can discuss that, because I know I'm just not understanding, but I know that there's sin. There we go. Sin. Thank you. So yes, sin is treated like a sport.
Yep.
Absolutely. We live in a fallen world. We live in a world dominated by powers and principalities, the scripture tells us. And so what do those powers and principalities want to see accomplished in our lives? They want to see us destroy ourselves.
Yep.
They want to destroy the nation of Israel. They want to destroy the Jewish people. They want to destroy God's children. They want
to divide mankind.
Divide us. And they want to destroy the church, because we are now the sons of God, adopted into his family, to someday replace those powers and principalities that are ruling us now over the nations. They're going to go into judgment. They're going to be paying for their failure, according to Psalm 82. We're going to replace them. We're going to be the powers and principalities, except we're going to be doing it right. We're going to be doing it the way God wanted it to be done in the first place. So yes,
there's nothing wrong with longing for eternity, but we do have to live where we're at, because God has us here for a reason.
Yes, absolutely. So we need to be very mindful of the fact that people are not going to hell because they sin. They sin because they're going to hell. And we want to change their destination before we can change their behavior.
My grandpa always said that we don't sin because we're sinners. We how do you say it? We sin because of sin. Because sin wasn't in God's creation. I always draw a circle on a white page, and I see it's the white represents the perfect world God created. Then I take a pen or a pencil and put one dot, one little dot that represents sin, and then that starts affecting it, and it grows from that little dot, and that little dot represents the sin in the garden.
Well,
sin entered in. Yep.
It's like throwing a pebble in a pond.
The ripple effect.
Yep, exactly. So yeah, Pat, 100%.
We're not sinners because we sin. We're sinners because of sin. That's the saying.
Profound.
Yep, and it's true.
All right. So Bride.
Yeah.
Oh man, technical difficulties plagued them before they even got to start.
That was like 20 minutes, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was, and then they had to cut the set short because of it. So
it was a good set too.
That was a good set. I was really enjoying it. And you talked about vocals, and I know Dale's been on the show, and I know that he's said in the past that he can't hit some of the notes like he used to. I couldn't tell the difference sitting there listening.
Man, you can barely tell, because when I'll be listening to him, watching the show that night, and I just close my eyelids here, and I picture him being young, and I'm like, boy, is he close to what he used to do still?
Yeah, I couldn't tell the difference.
62?
Like what?
I think Dale's 62.
Yeah.
I'm 59, and he's only he's got to be only like 2.5 years older than me. And he's been singing 40 plus years. His vocals are still strong, man.
Yeah, and so you got him, you got all these guys that were there, and they're our age or older, and their vocals are still phenomenal. I mean, you could tell that God's preserved these vocal cords on these guys, because my kid wanted me to go see the Motley Crue, Def Leppard show that came through Nashville a few years ago, and I was like, first of all, I wouldn't go to see a Motley Crue show at this point in my life, but I saw them back when Vince Neil could sing still, and I would
No,
not want to go and sit and listen to that
like a
and
dead cat or a cat
remember what it
dying.
was, you know. And it's the same thing with Guns N' Roses. I mean,
Yep.
I know Dale gets compared to Axl Rose, but Dale was singing before Axl Rose hit the scene.
Oh, I cracked up laughing that I forget which Facebook post it was. And Dale's funnier than people give him credit for.
Oh, he is. He's really
'Cause
funny.
he sent me some funny gifs or gifs or whatever private message and cracked up jokes with me, and I'm just like, this guy's funny.
Yeah.
But anyway, he actually commented. Somebody said, "Hey, sounds like Axl Rose," and he commented something. I'm going to paraphrase because I can't remember exact. He goes, "No, Axl Rose sounds like me. I've been doing this longer than him."
Yeah, I remember that. That's why I brought that up, because I remember him saying that. And you know, they did Knock It on Heaven's Door, and they did it the Guns N' Roses style, of course. But Troy and Dale also did a cover of that song, and they did it the more traditional version of it. So there's both of those out there. If you go on YouTube, you can find that.
Well, not only that, you can go to, I think it's briderocks.com,
Mm-hmm.
and you can order that what do they call
Bride
it?
Pub. Yeah, you can get the flash drive. I have it.
Yeah.
I have the flash
With
drive.
all of that music that
All of
they
the
did cover
covers.
up. Yeah.
Yeah, all the cover songs. So
And
I
they do
have
some-
that.
Yeah, they do
And I
some
really
good
like
ones too, man.
And I burned a bunch of those to a CD so I could
Okay.
take it with me. I took my favorites off and burned them onto a 70-minute CD.
They did a good one on Black Sabbath, War
The
Pigs.
War Pigs.
That was really good, dude.
Yeah, I really like that. I mean, everything they do is great. I mean,
Right.
every once in a while they'll cover a song I never liked to begin with, and then I just won't listen. But everything they do is just great. So, you know, Bride, to me, that was like almost, I don't want to say it was a bucket list show, but it kind of, I'm leaning more into the fact that it was a bucket list show for me, because I've been listening to them since early 90s. Been a huge fan, have gotten
Mark
to
it off.
know, checked it off, gotten to know Dale over the time, and had some interaction with Troy online, and definitely want to get Troy on the show.
They are great to work with. I'm telling you.
Yeah, I can't even imagine. And so, you know, that was. I'm going to go ahead and say it. I've been resistant saying it. I'm going to say it was a bucket list moment. So, got to see Bride live.
All right.
What was your take on Bride's performance?
Oh, stellar. Just as good performance as Les Carlson Band. Just as good as some of the Sacred Warrior. Even though I'm going to put Sacred Warrior an inch above. Just because, you know, what would be cool for Bride is if they could add one more instrument when they do live. So that was cool.
I think there are some keyboards on some of the songs on older albums.
Right.
Yeah.
But I'm just talking about for live, I think it would fill the spot a little more. But that's just, like I said, it's subjective. Other than that, Sacred Warrior, and then barely see it between my fingers for Bride. That's how close it is.
Yeah. And you know, they got such a definitive sound too.
Yep.
They genre bounced a little bit, and I think some of the fans didn't care for that in the day when they would release a new album, and this one sounded like that instead of what they wanted.
Right.
But now going back and listening to all that stuff together, there's a definitive sound. Troy's guitar is distinct. You know when you hear Troy's guitar work.
Well, that's what people are saying about We Are Resolute, is that we have our own style.
Yeah, you are definitive. You have a definitive sound.
Yep.
And you've captured that late 70s, early 80s, you know, vibe. And
John will be
glad
to hear that.
What's that?
John, my drummer.
Yeah.
Be glad to hear you say that.
Oh, yeah, that's the first thing that struck me about you guys when I first heard. Was that 70s, 80s, late 70s, early 80s vibe that comes through. And, you know, when we had a guest on recently that talked about metal, or Richard Lynch talked about metal versus rock.
Yep.
You guys are rock.
Yep.
And so, that vibe, that sound, and you listen to it, and it's almost like you're hearing a song for the first time, but it feels familiar.
Right.
And that's what I really love about We Are Resolute.
Well, with my songwriting, I really do try hard not to make everything sound the same because I use basically all the same chords. I just mix them around the way God wants me to. Because one night I was playing a song for John, and I'm like, hey, pick up that other guitar. And so he would play, and then I was playing with him, and I'm like, well, I have to sing this and video it so I don't forget the song. And it really came out really cool. So I think that one's going to be on the new album, and I can't remember the name of it right now. But
yeah,
just when God sends me stuff, and like Dale said, he said on an interview, I think it was, he said he loves my melodies, and so I don't purposely set out to do it. I just find them.
that's what I've heard. Great music is discovered; it's not created.
Yep.
So I mean, it's good stuff, man. Great.
Well,
stuff.
I believe it's a way for, at least for my case. I mean, I give him all the credit for it because there's no way. Like my song "Don't Walk Away," I'll be listening to go, how did I come up with this one? I mean, I'd like it even if you wrote it and performed it. I mean,
yeah.
but it's
you
just
probably
so
wouldn't like it
happens,
if I performed it.
right? God gave it to me, so
That would be so good. Night 3. So you got to participate in night 3
Yep.
via streaming. So give us the rundown. We're getting close to time here. So what was the rundown on night 3?
I forget what I was doing, but I only chimed in every once in a while on Randy Stonehill, so I don't know to give you anything on that, and that wasn't to be rude or anything, but I had something I had to do. And because I was unpacking and I'm almost.
Randy was kind of outside the genre of the main event, right?
Musically? I'm not sure. I think he was he's a CCM.
CCM, and in 2023, Gary Chapman was there, and
okay.
he would acknowledge, I don't even know why I'm here, he said, but he was great. It was a great performance. It was he was personable and likable, and it was
live. Really, doesn't it sound like it rocks more? Because I went to a Jeremy Camp concert because there was Switchfoot was there, mm-hmm. and I was there for Switchfoot basically. And when he came up, I'm like, he's played on like WJQ, which is Joy FM now up here. Yeah, and I'm like, I don't like that music. But then he came up and live, it rocked.
And yeah, there's something about live performances.
I mean, in the crowd, we met mm-hmm. Jeremy Camp's mom because it was not too long. I think after Jeremy's wife died.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was his wife that died, right?
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not familiar.
But his music rocked live. I thought that was pretty good.
So, well, I've gone to shows and seen a band I never heard of. Think, man, these guys are fantastic. And I go buy the CD and I'm like, I don't really like this.
Yep, live performance it's something different.
Yeah, there's something about live that it just, it's different. It's got a different vibe. It rocks. It's good.
Yep.
So Randy Stonehill. So Neon Cross. I have the Neon Cross CD. Love these guys. Love their sound. What did you think of that?
I heard of their name before, but I never really focused on them because everything was infatuation with Stryper. I always joke about that, but that's what it was. Stryper just hit the scene in my life, and they were the key. Them and White Cross, and I did branch out to White Heart, and then I found out Christovox. I wish I could have seen them live, but
oh yeah, I love Christovox.
But they did a good job, Neon Cross. And again, the singer's older, and I thought his vocals were doing pretty good. Did you get to hear it?
I think I listened to something you posted or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I think Pastor Bob Beeman did a lot of posting.
Yeah. But that was one I would have liked to have been able to see in person because I love their album, and it's an album that's been on heavy rotation for me for decades. Really, I love them. Triton. What can we say about Larry Dean and company? Holy smokes!
There was basically a good jam session. The whole thing, the whole set.
Yes.
And Paul Rohrbach or PJ Bostic,
Mhm.
I think if Rush wanted to tour, he could sit in on the drums for them.
I would probably say you're right about that.
Yep.
Yeah.
And he would have a joyful time doing it because he's
Yeah.
a good drummer. Check
Oh,
out
yeah.
some of his stuff on YouTube if you haven't, people.
Yeah. Check PJ Bostic and Paul Rohrbach. Check out his stuff with Triton, with Grandma Train, his PJ Bostic projects, solo albums and things like that. Just and again, great guy.
Yep. Good interview too. So if you have a podcast,
Yeah.
get him on there. He's good.
Yeah, get him on because he was a great guest. Really enjoyed having him. Chrissy's with us. Hey, Chrissy. Shout out to my mother-in-law tonight, Barbara Galatoli. She's last stages. My wife's down in Florida with her right now, and just we love you, Barb. Praying and can't say enough about what a great mother-in-law she has been to me and to my family. So, King James.
I felt bad for Jimmy Bennett because he said that he was struggling. His throat was hurting.
Mm,
And so, you put your time to practice and you haven't had the band together in a long time. And then you have that because he was struggling.
was he? Okay.
He had mentioned, if my memory is correct, he said his throat was hurting.
Okay.
And so he pushed through and he did a decent job for whatever was going on in there. So,
Yeah. Did they mention anything about new music? Because I think when I'm pretty sure when Rex Carroll was on the show, he mentioned something about some new music for King James.
I don't recall because I'm one of those people like in church, if someone's up front and they're singing and they're just bombing, I start sweating because I feel for him.
Yeah.
And that's how I felt for Jimmy that night.
Just because of his throat problems. Yeah.
Whatever, he did mention something and I'm like, that figured, because I thought it was a mic problem.
Yeah.
I felt like the voice was going in and out. So, but
Well,
then
it could have been a mic problem because there's been mic problems in the past when I was there.
But then he said something like, and I'm going to be able to watch it pretty soon because I recorded all the songs. I got to go back and watch. But maybe I didn't. I wanted to save room on my phone, so maybe I cut out the talking part. I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm.
But he said something like, "I'm sorry, my throat hurts," or something like that. So, yeah, I just felt bad for that because it would be like if I finally got We Are Resolute together and then my guitar broke, or or I forgot how to play a song.
Yeah.
How embarrassing for me, but ruins it for the fans,
Mm-hmm.
because that wouldn't be any musician's intent.
Yeah, and what horrible thing that his throat had an ailment going into a big night like that.
Because he has a good singing voice,
He does have a fantastic voice.
Yep. It fits exactly what King James is.
Yeah.
So I hope they make a new album.
I do too. Yeah.
Because then he can sing in the studio and use lemon juice or whatever they do.
Well, I'm sure whatever was wrong with his throat was just that, an ailment for that evening. And
Ray Parra told me that because I asked him, because at the end of their set, he was starting to have a little issue because Bruce Swift, the guitar player, asked him, "Your throat okay?" Well, I talked to Ray and I said, "Was it dry there?" He goes, "Oh, it was really dry in there." So if you're singing like that, and you're older,
certainly
that's going to affect everything. And he was cranking, dude. So he had to have been pushing those vocal cords.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pat said, would or could it be possible to make a CD with all 3 nights on it? Just a thought. Well, that would be a BMI question. Because, if we did something like that and try to put it out, we'd go to jail for copyright.
Yep.
I would love it. And I was thinking about that tonight, how awesome that would be, even if it was just like a compilation album of maybe 1 or 2 songs from each band that performed and call it the Immortal Fest special edition CD or something. So those of you that market stuff like this, if you happen to be listening, Rocks Records or whoever, See if that would be something that we could make available to fans
Well,
like us.
you know that
Have it.
Saint purchased all of the video from the BMI or whoever's doing that stuff, and
Yeah.
they're editing and making their own DVD of their set.
That's smart. That's very
Yep.
smart. Okay, so we're down to one more band. We talked about it quite a bit. Sacred Warrior. Break it down because we're out of time.
Who are they?
Yeah, who's that guy?
I know that they had a little technical difficulty, and Ray was hilarious. He goes, something about well, I don't care about any technical difficulties. Let's rock or something like
Good for
that.
him.
And then they just kick butt.
Yeah, that's great.
And his vocals were like top notch the whole time until the end, until it got dry or something. But he still pushed through and did a great job.
All right, so I'm going to hit the elephant in the room. Dale Thompson made a post. We're going to wrap this up because we've run out of time. But Dale Thompson made a post kind of getting on people's case about not participating, not being there, not if you can't be there by the stream like you did, kind of thing. And, you know, I'm guilty. I didn't go last year. I only went one night this year, so I'm guilty of this as well.
You're a bad
if you want these things, you got to support them, man. That's, you know, stop asking to be, I say this all the time, stop asking to get on a guest list. Stop asking for free music.
Yep.
Support it. If you want it, you got to support it because these guys are, you know, they're not millionaire rock stars. Not of them got jobs and go to work every day, just like you and me. So
I can attest to the cost of it, even though we do all of our recording ourselves, but we have to pay Dale and Tracy, and then we have to pay Garrett for the mix and master. Then we had to buy our equipment. So we're not making any money, man.
yeah, I mean, this is ministry.
Yep.
This Immortal Fest is ministry.
Yep.
Because if you go to the Immortal Fest and God doesn't touch your heart, it's because you hid your heart from God. Because there's something for everybody there. And
just for the record, if you read through the comments on Dale's post, he understood. He's just frustrated, and so am I, and Troy was too, about how it used to be.
Yeah.
In society, how it is now. And he was just frustrated because the quality of bands that we just talked about on this show would fill arenas back in the 80s.
Oh, yeah.
If you had all of this talent in 3 days in an arena, that place would be packed.
And the VIP pit in front of, I was in the front row, and in front of me was the VIP pit. It was empty, man. Like the first row and then maybe a little bit in the second row, and that was it. And when I was there in 2023, that thing was full, jammed with people. So, yeah, there was a big difference in the attendance from when I went a couple years ago to now. So, let BMI know you want this. Let the musicians know you want this. And then, you know, participate when the time comes. Because, you know, they're not going to put this show on if we're not supporting it.
Well, if they're losing, it's just like anything else. If you're losing money, how long can you do it?
Yeah, how long? I mean, it's ministry, and I get that. But if it's not sustainable to where at least it's not breaking somebody's bank.
A lot of non-Christians and even some Christians, well, you shouldn't charge for that. You're doing God's work. Oh, seriously? Everything takes money.
It does, yes. So
the ignorance in some people is just
support the musicians. Jump on Les Carlson's Kickstarter. Monty Colvin from Galactic Cowboys wanting to put the band back together. He's got a GoFundMe set up, so hop on board with, you know, if you want the music of the bands you love, get on board and start supporting. And
We Are Resolute might have to do a Kickstarter because I can't finance this album.
All right, so there you go. If We Are Resolute does a Kickstarter and you like We Are Resolute's music and you want more of it, you better kick.
And it's going to be a double album this time.
That's even more exciting.
20 songs, 10 on each. So
and Pat said, great show, gentlemen. Thank you. And thank you so much, Pat, for your participation.
Yep.
We are out of time. We are over time. And so we're
getting paid extra.
I don't want to have to pay Bryan overtime tonight. So
yep. I get time and a half.
Time and a half. So I'm going to say thank you, everybody. Thank you for Pat's participation.
Yep.
God bless everyone who's checking this out, and support your local musicians and support the music that you love. Bryan, to close us out.
All right. So when it's just going to be Paul and I think we might be trying to do 7 p.m. on Sunday nights. Yeah. But maybe if the next guests work out for 7, then we'll do that too. But we do have Striking coming up on the 14th at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And, who else? I talked to Bill Bafford we have to reschedule him. He asked if next month would work. Yes. So I told him that all the Sundays right now are open. Mm-hmm. And then who else was it? There was another band and I'm too tired and I can't remember. So I'll talk to you about that later when we're not on air.
All right. Sounds good, man.
Yep.
All right.
Cool.
Well,
it's been fun. Read your Bible every day, pray every day, and really seek the Lord, because he said he can be found if you seek in spirit and truth.
Amen. And remember, the road less traveled isn't just a podcast. It's a way of life.
Yep.
God bless you guys.
Bye.